Thank you, everyone, for joining me on Codebreaker Real Talk. I'm your host, Veronica Bartolini, and today I have Celeste Chaparro, who will be talking about Back to the Future, BTTF, 30 years now. We'll be talking about Wizard of Oz, memes, psyops. Enjoy your day, and thank you for being here on Codebreaker Real Talk, Unchained Hearts and Unchaining Hearts. Thank you.
Hola everyone, it's Veronica Bartolini with Codebreaker Real Talk, and I have Celeste Chaparro with me today. Hola!
Hola.
Before we go on, I just want to show you my hat, and it has EMF protection.
Heck yeah.
So, what I tell people, people like us that are psychic mediums, clear channels, star seeds, stars, that we're using these programs you can buy this material and put it on you to sleep. You can buy this also material online. I don't know how much it costs. They say it's very expensive. But just a little bit inside your hats, maybe. Another person, it's to help the EMF, to help you from the EMF thingy protection. It helps. And I also use this. Amaria Sweets made this for me. Oregon Gains, the little game, little circles, and you can put it in the sun or on your window. Power it up, or you can power it up with your own energy. It has a dragon in there. I don't know if you can see her. If you guys want to get something from her, she is on Facebook, Instagram. She says, "Your life, your story, live it, love it." Amaria Sweet, Divine Connections. Okay. So real quick, Celeste and I have been talking about this situation. Let me share my screen. About this certain topic with certain people online. And I saw this here. It says, I can't wait for this day. Come, Lord Jesus Christ. I'm like, nah, bro, that's a psyop. That's a psyop. The rainbow, see the rainbow, see the portal, angels that are not angels, people giving their life to this entity they call Zeus, Jesus, or Leviathan. You guys got to get this book here, the book of Lamech of Cain. This book also with this one talks about Cain, Seth, and the giants Uval, and how they worship this Leviathan entity, and they give up their children to this entity, and they have to worship. Oh, and he is feared, and you got to have God fear. Well, guess what? That dog, God fear, is Leviathan that you're worshiping. This is another book I got, the book of Enoch, or Enoch. And it says here, let me just read a little bit of the introduction, if you don't mind, Celeste.
No, go ahead.
Thank you. It says here, all right. So Father Martin's translator then made his team's services available to me. He then presented me with a briefcase full of microfish. Those precious rolls would later prove to document the parchment tablets and preserved animal skins of a mostly complete Ugaritic translation of the Book of Lamech of Cain. The microfiche had been secretly held in the Vatican secret archives, and that was all we were told. We have never had access to the original documents, nor have we been told where it is located. There is more, but there are no concrete answers to noise. Let it pass. Go on with your bad self, motorcycle person. We have never had access to the original document, nor have we been told where it's located. There is more, but there are no concrete answers to the more than I speak of. What I can tell you is this book of Lamech of Cain has been cleared for publication by my Vatican superiors. I can also tell you that it is the most profane ancient tale I have ever read. So, We are told to sacrifice our firstborns. We are told that we have to be the best. There's a dog barking, isn't there? I hear
Oh
it.
yeah.
Um, you got to be a lawyer, doctor. You got to go to all Princeton, Yale, all these freaking, right?
Mhm.
You got to worship. You got to give your money to the God, because even though God has a city of gold and of angels, he needs your money still. Nope, no more. I'm done. You do not baptize your kids. You do not present your kids, because if you do, you're presenting it to this mother effer.
Not only that, but they say try to, you're supposed to tithe 10%, and it's like, why does the church need 10% of my money? If I'm going to give 10% of anything, it's going to be to a homeless guy or a woman who has no husband, or
The
something
widow.
like, yeah, the widow, the orphan, the needy. I'm not going to give it to a church that's free, and a mega church with like 100 people choir and a whole friggin' band, and it's just like, they don't need my money. They got enough money. Why don't they give me money?
Mhm.
They're like, we're here to help you. All right, well, give me some money. Oh no, 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 not that kind of help.
Like, like the Copelands, they don't need.
Dude, all those, yeah, those fake Christians, man, they're not real. They're just, I need a jet. God is telling me to give me money because I need $2 million
God, yeah,
for a
give
jet.
me an airplane, aeroplane. Go preach the gospel in Africa. And what are they doing over there in Africa? You know what they're
Stealing the kids. They're stealing the kids and they're
doing.
raping the land and
And that's another thing that's like, did DT, like you said, really help save the children, or was he just using it for the agenda? I think that he was using it. I mean, he was a friend of who that supposedly didn't kill himself.
not only that, like, did we ever see on the news these kids being reunited with their families? These kids he was supposedly saving? I'm like, that occurred to me. I'm like, I never saw that ever, that him giving, him having kids go back to their families. It's just like, they're just saying, oh, he's saving all these children and he's going to be the savior of
I don't.
America.
Remember that there were kids incarcerated in Mexico,
Hmm.
in the cages, like they
Yes.
did with us in the program. We're like, why are you separating the kids from their parents? And I know this because I have a very good friend that I helped for 2 years for the immigrants that were getting their papers. Okay. They were in the process of getting their papers here legally. And when all this stuff happened,
Hmm.
they had to go back to Mexico and leave their kids in somebody else's hand, and they had to sign off, and I helped them with that paperwork. So I know what these people had to go through, and it's not right.
No.
These psyops, these are psyops. These, they're puppets to the puppet master of the family of 300, which they bow down to the Queen of England. Okay. Mm, you guys got to wake up. As far as this rainbow thing, when I started playing my violin at fourth grade,
Hmm.
I played the Rainbow Connection. Even my yearbook. Let me go get it while you talk, Celeste. It even has a rainbow in junior high on the book. But this here also, real quick, I had friends when I was a kid that were Jehovah's Witnesses, and they took me to their church, and then they would give me these books, and this right here, these pictures were in there. All right, go ahead. I'll be back.
Okay. Yeah, I grew up the same way. We grew up Catholic at first, and then yeah, I just remember my grandma buying all those like what's it called, Watchtower books and stuff from like the Jehovah's Witness, and they're saying you need to buy these books, and now you got to buy these books, and they're not cheap. And I remember just always looking at them, but just just something about them, of course, never seemed right. And as you get older, you do your own research. So someone who likes to do research, and if you do read the Bible, that this whole scenario right here isn't it's not even described like that at all. And so, they just want to paint this pretty little picture, and and it's just like, okay. I'm just like, all right, it's just more indoctrination, it's just more, oh,
It's
what?
1985. I was in eighth grade at Apollo Junior High, and I don't remember making honor society. And there's somebody says here in the back. Oops, something fell. It says congratulations on making honor society. I'm like, I made honor.
Where was I?
Mandela effect, I guess.
Right?
And my one of my dreams since I started playing was to go to the Juilliard's
Oh.
to go to that beautiful dome, to play my violin there. I did play for the Philharmonic Orchestra of Tucson. I did do mariachi. I played with
Hmm.
Vicky Carr Mariachi Cobra, but I always wanted to go there. Now, I was telling my friends that, John and you guys, that I've always had actual astral being there playing. So I don't
Yeah.
know if it was in another planet
Probably.
or what. But going back to this rainbow thing, there's a YouTuber out there that's saying that you got to stop wearing your glasses because they have the blue thing on it. And you have to stop wearing your contacts that have the blue ring around it because they keep you from seeing interdimensionally the portals that you got to go to because that's the rainbow that's going to take you to another timeline. And my ears ringing to another new earth or whatever.
If I stop wearing my glasses, I'm gonna crash my car.
That that totally, because she was saying, oh yeah, they're gonna, and she points out there's gonna be these vortex around the planet where you can go, and it's gonna be the rainbow. And then this other person posts this, and I'm like,
How much acid are you doing, lady? Or sir?
no,
Or
like who's
ma'am?
paying you to say this? And they have thousands and thousands of followers. I feel so sorry for the followers because it's like, gotta think outside the box, yeah, but you gotta think for yourself too. You can't just be eating popcorn every day. Let's see who's on YouTube and let me see what I do get it that we do look for information that way, but you ultimately have to go within, shut everything else down, even books, and
Almost like just for entertainment now, and just them just kind of shutting out what's really happening in the world, and they just watch all these videos and people like Gene Decode and things like that, and
mhm.
just like I remember
Well, Gene
watching.
Code, somebody sent me a YouTube video today that it was on, the famous SS Talk
Hmm.
show. And he was talking about the Mandela effect, saying that that his neighbor supposedly had two kids, and then all of a sudden he has one kid, and it doesn't even look like the other kid, and that there was a time, that there's a time, like they changed the timeline somehow, and that he remembers, but they have no clue. Now I get that because that's exactly what is going on right now with CERN. This morning I woke up with the words
Hmm.
genetically modifying thought forms. That's what I heard as I woke up, opened my eyes. Like these mother effers. So instead of these people having to sit underground in bases with their phone and their laptop to send people messages through V2K, which is voice to skull, or the God voice. God told me to kill this person. No, no, no. Um, the MK Ultra thing. So instead of them physically having to be there sending and decoding the information and all that, with the binary thing
Hmm.
online, now they're doing it through that. CERN, DARPA's involved, all these black projects. Now I was listening to John Warner, and I did share it on our group on Instagram, and some people left because they said they were really triggered, and I'm like, well then it's okay, you don't have to watch it. One thing that I do is I present both sides of the story, and then I tell you what I feel. But I'm not going to be over here, you better not. And John Warner was saying, and he's funny, dude. At the end, he was funny at part two. He was saying, imagine if people really knew, he was on Dark Journalist, by the way. Imagine if people really knew what this whole religion and politics was and education, they would be a mass, taking of their lives. Name, word. And then another person said, maybe you should present your information. Maybe you should be more soft with people. I don't know what the words are, but we've talked already, you and
Hmm.
I and this sister, another sister ours. And I said, girl, I was what Lauren Pritchard Alexis says. She calls it an ambush awakening. I said I was ambushed in my awakening. I was not given no spoon fed, no silver spoon, no. Here's the Gerber, cereal primero, mijita. Aquí está el cereal. Le echamos una lechita y un poquito. No, it was like here's the meat and the beans,
Yep.
and you go get your own,
Everything.
your own water.
Right. Go hunt. Go hunt for your food. Go dig your water.
So Celeste bought herself a to me, she reminds me of Artemis. What did you buy, Mika? What did you order? While I
And
look for this other stuff here.
a whole archery kit because it's just always felt like that's something I've always needed to do. And the movie that really made me want to do archery was Brave. Everyone thinks like, oh, is it
I
because of
like
the Hunger
Brave.
Games? I'm like, that's the Hunger Games. It wasn't because of the Hunger Games. It was after watching that movie Brave, and I just really resonated with the character. And then, as I watched that movie more and more, I just see more of myself as her, and then like her mom too. Like we were always, she wanted me to be like her and just, follow her and like the whole religion thing. And I was just like, hell no, I'm gonna do what I want to do and all that stuff. And yeah, I just feel like I am her. And I was even a redhead at one point. Like
Yeah.
I had the red curly hair and stuff. And I feel like her and I kind of have the similar type of smile because when she smiles, I feel like I have that same goofy smile as her.
Yeah, we are fragments of our ancestors, of our star family.
Hmm.
So, you know, that's a huge thing. Uh,
Hmm.
I sent you a little video on tapatio. Let me go get my tapatio because I have to have chiltepin and tapatio with everything I eat, or else I won't eat it.
Yep.
Go ahead and talk about that tapatio thing, mija.
Um, like the story behind it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a guy. What was he? He was from Guadalajara, I believe, right? Jalisco. Yeah, and 50 years ago, he started Tapatio in Mexico, in LA.
In LA, yeah.
And yeah, and so him and his family still run it. He's still running it. They used to do it all by hand. It was just, a family affair. It was a labor of love. And, it just shows you, like, as long as you stick to what your goals are and, you're doing it for all the right reasons, like, because it just seems like that's what he was doing. Like, he just, wanted to make, salsa, and then, but he also wanted, I guess, to help the community also and just, give those who are struggling and thinking they can't make it. It's just like, just listen to that guy's story, man. It's very
And then
inspiring, and it's just like, dude, you could do it. I mean, it doesn't matter how old you are. Yeah, he started young, which is good, but it doesn't matter whether you're 25 or 50 or whatever. Yeah, man.
mine, I'm already done with it. I usually can buy a huge BB one that looks like this. I usually buy the ones that look like that, but so this is a tapatio, and I feel that it's in our bloodlines. Like the native. This is the chiltepin. This is what I eat. You pop
Oh.
them. You pop these little thingies and you put them in your food, and then I put this, and then I eat red carne con chile or chorizo.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, girl. Now I was remembering what you were saying about this, the ketchup. We were talking about what is cognitive dissonance, and you were saying, so I was saying, it's just like something is right in front of you and you don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And you were saying something about at work. What happened?
Oh yeah. So I work at Sprouts and I'm an in-store shopper, so I shop for people. So and then they come pick up their stuff. And yeah, and I'll just be looking at all the ketchup and I'm just like, I know it's in front of me. I know the exact one that they want is right in front of me. And there's like 5 different varieties of organic, blah blah blah. And it's just like, why do we need so many ketchups? Anyways, yeah, but it'll be in front of me and I'll just have to grab one of the employees. I'm like, dude, I can't find this. And they'll be like, oh, it's right here. And I'm just like, thank you. And I just feel really dumb because it was in front of my face the whole damn time. If it was a snake, it would have bit me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Even here at home, I'll be looking for something and I'm just like, where is it? Almost feels like sometimes it gets taken, and then when they turn around, it'll be put back again. So sometimes I feel like that happens too. They'll just, just want to fuck with you. See if we can make her go crazy.
Mm-hmm. Um, it's just that what happens is, we are highly triggered sometimes with the traumas and stuff and the programs that even with our family, like, ¿por qué no ves eso? How come you're not watching this or watching that? You don't pay attention. ¿Qué no estás poniendo atención? Aren't you paying attention? And here they are chingando, hitting you and whatever. And then you're like, they make you feel stupid because you can't see it and it's right in front of you.
Right, you're just trying to be fast because, because we are kind of timed because they give us a time, like they're
Yeah.
going to be here at 3 o'clock to pick up their food. So I'm just trying to rush through the store. And so I'm just like, what jar of peanut butter do they want? Where the hell is it? And so I'm like, I don't have time to waste. So I have to grab someone and they're like, oh, here it is. And I'm just like, oh my fuck. And so I just like, that whole pressure thing. And I guess that's too part of programming,
Oh
they
yeah.
put you under pressure to see if you can solve a problem really quickly and see how your problem solving skills are.
Yeah. Now, yesterday was the something like an anniversary of Back to the Future. And today is 10/22/2022. A bunch of twos, baby. It's time to clean out those mirrors. It's time to manifest, put out there what you want because today is the day to manifest. Every day you can manifest, but today something's opened. You got to open that portal, put what you want in there, and close that baby up. But I find it interesting that they wanted to go back to 10, 10, 20, November. I can't see my phone. November of 1955. And then they did another one for the future for um, 10/21/2015 for the future. These are dates. And in the first movie, they wanted to go back 3 times. It was written 10/26/1985. 1985.
Oh,
1985. Don't tell me I was not part of these freaking programs. It's not a coincidence.
exactly. You probably are Marty McFly,
And
Martina McFly.
I know with the blonde, huh? Ashiana Dean talks about these different stargates that
Mm.
are. This is from her. I screenshot her video, and these are the different star um, Stargate. So, for example, 11 would be Vale of Pewsey, 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 South England. 3 is Bermuda Island, Bermuda Triangle. Where did Amelia Earhart end up?
Right.
I have a special connection to her because if I were her, I would run. I would have been like, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. Maybe the
Right.
company was after her and then she's like, I'm gone.
Yeah, she's probably abducted. She's probably somewhere else right now on another planet,
Either she's
another
been
star system.
abducted or she knew about these things, being a pilot, that she left. She's like, I'm done with you guys. And then there's one in Pichu Pichu, Peru, Montsegur, South France, number 12. That's where my lines, both my lines are from.
From France, mine too.
Uh-huh. Cairo,
And
Giza,
Spain.
Egypt, number 4. Because
Of
I
course,
know
Egypt.
you too. From Egypt. We all pretty much came from Egypt because of Atlantis. After Atlantis, we had to go through Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Ark of the Covenant. Um, near Moscow, Russia is number 6.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me play this real quick. You will see a lot of 3 3s, 303, and 311s. Just like that song by Beyonce, 7-Eleven. Sonic crap.
And then there's that band 311.
Mm-hmm. How do you do this? Let me lower the volume that way. It's so small.
Mm-hmm. Are you noticing that everyone's wearing that same gold ring in this commercial?
Can you hear me? Is that better?
Yeah.
That time.
Presents Back to the Future, a Robert Zemeckis film. Marty leads an ordinary life. No McFly ever. And 1985 is not his year.
So I'm not gonna play the whole thing because of the rights on YouTube. But look at the times on the clock, and anytime you go by a watch or a clock, they will have it set to a certain time. Everything has a purpose here, guys.
But Dr. Brown is up in Marty 30 years back in time.
So 1985, is it 30 years now?
And then it said Pluto too. It said something
And
from
it says
Pluto.
Pluto too. Now that's very important. I'm glad you caught that because I did catch that. The werewolf agenda.
Yep.
And love. They're born yet. And to the future.
Yeah, it has plutonium.
Mm.
So I guess yesterday marked the anniversary. Let's see if I can. So yesterday I was at a place where the number of the place that we visited was, let's see if I can find a screenshot of the number with Back to the Future. Do you see it anywhere? Maybe it's that one. I don't know. All my personal stuff is there, right? Oh, no. That one I shared already. That one is with Peter the Insider. Taino presents Olaf Anderson, Kruger, Super Soldier, and Peter the Insider. And they were talking about being in Ukraine. And I was in Ukraine with some of you guys for 3 months. Find that interesting. I'll find well, hopefully I'll find. There it is, I think. So the doctor on Back to the Future lives at 1646. Uh, 1646, let me add that up. Anyway, I'll just show this one for now. And I can't see that. Those little things are too big. So it was October 26, 1985, October 21, 2015, and then November 12, 1955. Look at the time.
What's with the year 2015? Because even in Neon Genesis Evangelion, that's when like those angel things decided to come down to Earth, and that's when they got all fucked up. So it's just like, what is it with 2015? I wonder if something was supposed to have happened like that, but the timeline got changed or something like that.
They did something. These dates are very important. They definitely did something. Albie, by the way, my friend Albie in Las Vegas shared this on Facebook, so I give credit to him. But lo que digo, what I say is 1985 was a very hard year for me because February is when my dad took his life, and it was an Illuminati sacrifice. I was 13. We've talked about this before. And I was graduating 8th grade. October 21, 2015. Oh my gosh. I graduated October 28th from the police academy. I'm trying to remember the year. Anyway, and then November 12th, it has something to do with politics, I think, 1955. I got to research that a little more because I did have it in my mind. It's just that I'm just thinking too hard right now. It's kind of triggering, you know, but we'll get through this. We got to get through this.
Right. Like that song. Gonna get through this.
See what else I find here. I was looking for that blue planet. see this one. Okay, so let's talk about movies and memes. Wizard of Oz. They always want you to be people to be programmed with ignore the man behind the curtain.
Yeah. Right? They don't want you to question it. They're like, just don't question it. Just listen to us. And people are like, okay, just as long as you give us our peanuts and our entertainment, we're not going to question shit.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, people like us are like, psh, psh, we don't want this shit. We want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, because, you know, all the food now, it's all fucking got all kinds of chemicals in it to, like, dumb you down and make you just, you know, that fluoride's there.
That's why um
I think you muted yourself, Veronica.
okay, hold on.
You're making your thing go slow, like you're
Yeah,
moving. Ew.
let me stop sharing. We'll get into the Wizard of Oz a little later, but Celeste, tell me about a dream, a memory you have.
Okay, so when I was watching, what was it? Your latest video with John Whitberg, and he was talking about that movie Moonfall and the Dyson sphere that was around the White Star. And so as I was listening to that, it triggered like a dream or a memory where I was outside of, like I was in space, and in my dream, like there was this guy that wasn't from Earth, and I happened to be really scared of him because I knew he was just evil, and I was just kind of trying to hide in some people, you know, just like, oh, get away from me. And he ends up getting caught, and he ends up getting thrown in like prison or jail, something like that. And so because of that, all the world governments and the military and all that, that's what they created all these rings around the earth. Like one went this way, one went this way, one went up and down, the other one went like this, and it was to keep us from any other attacks. And when he said that, I was like, holy crap, I wonder if there is rings around the earth that we can't see right now. And it was all like metal, like just these metal rings, almost like a, yeah, like, what do you call it? Like some sort of AT field or just something just to keep from attacks from coming. And I was telling you, I was like,
I do see that. I do see that, and I've told people it's AI systems upon AI systems. Like we're living in a biosphere dome, and then there's all these things around Earth.
mm-hmm.
I, um, and it kind of reminds me of the movie Con Air with I think we've talked about it before.
Mm-hmm.
And he does also a movie
Mm-hmm.
called Face Off
Mm-hmm.
when he sews the other person's face supposedly on, the bad guy sews the
Mm-hmm.
good guy's face on. And then also he did Nicolas Cage, I'm talking about, he also did a movie where he goes back in time. He wishes he's with his family. He has a wife, kids, and he's a tire salesman for his father-in-law because he had a heart attack. The father-in-law, he has to take over the business. And one night he goes to bed wishing that he were like this corporate attorney or something. And then later on in his dream, he wakes up in that reality. And he's this hotshot attorney. He's living in New York, you know, nice suits, like 1,000 suits and 1,000 pairs of shoes. Very nice watches. I'm like, damn. You know, he has hookers, you know, sleeping with him, whoever he wants, you know, wine, dinners and everything like that. But then he started getting flashes of, wait, this is, I don't want this life. I want my old life. And then, so, because he makes a deal with the devil, I guess you could say, but it's not the devil, you know what I mean? It's different jinns, you know, that's why it's not good to say I wish,
Mm-hmm.
because, or doubt yourself, or let anybody handle you in this life, no matter if it's your wife, husband, boyfriend, mother, doctor, friend, best friend. Don't let anybody handle you because your heart is your heart, and that's where the real you comes in. So through this whole movie, then it's kind of like the movie Click,
Oh yeah.
where he's like forwarding the times he has with his wife. He doesn't want to hear her bitch and complain, and he misses out on his kids. And then he grows old and he has a heart attack, and then he's like, "Oh, what am I gonna do now?" But going back to Nicolas Cage, something happens to where he wishes back his life, because he actually met his wife that's not even a friend of his in this new life that he wanted timeline, and he wants her back, and she has no clue who the heck he is. So she's supposed to be going to Paris. Um, I think she's an art gallery person, very nice suits, and you know she's not a home wife or anything like that. She actually has her own business. And then he's like, man, what did I do? Did I mess up? And so then the movie ends where she misses her flight on purpose because he says, please give me a chance. Like she doesn't even know who this guy is, right?
Right.
But that's the other timeline. And it's funny that they're pushing these agendas of timeline. And I was talking to a family member the other day. I'm like, project excuse me, the Philadelphia experiment and Manhattan projects, Manchurian Candidate, those were all real. And it's Alec Bealey or Beakley or Bealey who talks about it. And I've shared this many times with everybody that I know that these things are real. So something interesting that he said, yeah, my brother and I were placed back into a family where they took the DNA from our father, but from different mothers. So he said, when you're 65, they'll hit you up and you know who they are, and they'll say, hey, how would you like to be 25 again? And he's like, who wouldn't want that again? You get to keep your memories and your identity, he said. So they got to live that life again. And he recently died, supposedly. And I'm like, did he take the deal again?
Right.
Because I'm thinking, Celeste, that even reincarnation is a psyop. Because in this book here, this book that I talked about, the Lamech book, the book of Lamech and Cain, they talk about how they even in Bon, Bon, the religion Bon, how they make the animal come to life with somebody else's spirit.
Mm.
So I'm like, are our pets humans? They're just in this body right now. Have we been there before? So the only way that they can live, these entities can live here, is through reincarnation, through keeping us reincarnated. Why would you want to do that? There's other planets, there's other missions, you as a star, you have other things that you want to do too. You don't want to be stuck here all the time. And the
Yeah.
fate of your kids, your grandchildren, you gotta come back to, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Right, like being stuck here because they're stuck here, so they don't want you to leave and go ascend somewhere else or go do or be where you really belong. And it's just like, no, I'm gone. Once I'm gone, I'm gone. I don't want to come back here.
So 1985, again, Apollo. I was involved in the Apollo mission. They're telling me right here, through the rainbow connection of Saturn.
I know the rings and stuff.
There's one here, and then here, 1, 5. You dial it 9, 8, or you can go 8, 9, 5, 1, and then you could
Yep,
go through this portal.
that's a
Apollo.
portal, that's for sure.
My mom had it for the longest time. I thought I had lost it in when my divorce. And about a month ago, she's like, hey, I think this is your sister's book. I'm like, no, Ma, it's mine. It says Veronica Ortolini right there, Ma. And then my picture's in there.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Going back to the you said like the whole wishing people could wish, and I just had to look up because I don't know if it was the Wonder Woman. It was 82 or 84, but it's Wonder Woman 1984, and it's the same thing where the djinn and people are wishing and that guy's dying because he's just giving up his luge. And she had to give up the love of her life in order for things to go back. And it's just like, yeah, we need to sometimes make those sacrifices in order for things to get back to normal, or because it's like, I wish, and I have to stop saying that. I try to say like, my hope is, or I hope, or something like that. Just don't, yeah, because I don't like saying I wish, because it feels like I'm talking to something that I shouldn't be talking to. And I need to break out of that too. Like, no, I don't wish. I don't wish for anything.
What I'm trying to say is I see myself doing this, or I'll say, I'm so happy and grateful now that, boom, and I name it.
Yeah.
I'm so happy and grateful now that we're going to the Vegas conference.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Not in March. I talked to the person that's directing it. It's not in March.
Sometime in the fall, right? Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
That gives us all time to, do our reading, save up for, our wardrobe, our gas, fix our vehicles, and then heal, from surgery or whatever. So
right. Get the room that we want.
yeah, let me see. Let me go back to this Wizard of Oz thing, because I mean, if you look at this book here, it has the yellow and the green. And this here is the blue rivers that Power Lady and I remember in the city. And this is the bioluminescence that I talk about. Okay, so now, let's see. We're going to minimize. Oh, never mind. There it is. Video. Video unavailable. What?
Oh my god.
That was weird.
I know. They're like, okay.
Come on, Dorothy.
Dorothy?
Dorothy. Oh, sign up now. No, I didn't want that.
No, but Tin Man, he looks friggin' creepy as hell.
All right, hopefully it'll play here. Nope, not available. Wow, full movie of Wizard of Oz. But then you gotta go through that.
Oh, hell
Don't think I have a trailer. Come on, guys. I could have paused this, but oh well. YouTube Wizard of Oz film.
You know how people say if you sync up the Wizard of Oz to, was it is it Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon or something like that? It syncs up, and I'm like, that's definitely on purpose. It's not a coincidence.
Yeah, and then Dark Side of the Moon, Power Lady and I were talking, and it's like, when I was a kid, my dad would always say, "Ahí está la coneja arriba en la luna." I'm like, there's a rabbit on the moon? What?
Or the man, like the man on the moon.
Yeah, and then the man on the moon is, she said it's Enki. Or no, Marduk, sorry. Wait, who is it? I think it's Marduk. One of those guys that, all right, YouTube, so then you search Wizard of Oz. Come on. Buy it or rent it? No, I just want to see it a little bit of it.
I just want to see this.
Had a mystical connection with Red.
Oh, here we go, man. Panda
the girl, like,
no more
shapeshifts. Yep.
No more child abductions. No more stuff.
Right, turning kids into monsters just for their benefit. Oh, they're just gonna be the beginning. Looks like it.
Okay, are they not gonna show it?
Oh, I think it's just the beginning credits. 30 years of service, faithful service to the young. Whatever. Yeah, the young in heart, right? And they eat their hearts.
Well, at least we get one scene here. Time travel.
Yeah. I feel so sorry for this
This
this actress. I was watching like a little doc on her and how she was just pretty much just she was just nothing to the people that made this
that
movie.
eyeball to the right looks like an eyeball.
Mhm.
Yeah, her and both the girl from Exorcism, man. The girl from Exorcism, I think, had to commit suicide or some shit.
Mhm.
And it's horrible. What they do is for the young actors, and for they do with us too. Is like they program you so much, and then when you start remembering, they put a kill switch,
Mhm.
and because they don't, or they'll have you get addicted to alcohol, sex, pornography, or drugs,
Right. Partying,
or being,
anything.
yeah, being stuck in they put you in a psych ward or they put you in prison. See, there's that thing, that loop. I'm gonna pause it right there.
Yeah,
There's
the
Azur as ¿cómo se llama? This thing here too. The feminine, that's the symbol for the feminine power
mm.
in Disney. And you also notice it in Christmas and Halloween, that one with Johnny Depp. They have the hats like that for Halloween.
Yeah,
It's like they're inverting the feminine energy.
that's calling it in.
Those things look like teeth on the top for some reason. Have the water. I remember swimming pools like this. The water. Then there's a bridge over the rainbow, right?
Mm.
Then the mansion. Let's see. And that's that. Okay, so when she says we must be over the rainbow, by that time, we as kids were already zoomed in, we'll say, hypnotized. And then
Yeah,
she says, looks like we're over the rainbow.
yeah, because I hear that's a trigger. That whole just that phrase "over the rainbow,"
Yeah,
somewhere over the rainbow.
that's
That's a
where
trigger.
that's where we go through two dimensions and do what they want us to do as a program, because you're either being hypnotized through music, electroshock, really, really loud music. On I found it interesting that on Back to the Future, the first part, he's trying to program his dad, Marty is,
Mhm.
with really loud metal music to ask his mom out, meaning his soon-to-be wife, to the dance,
Right.
metallic music.
What
Mm.
was what was I watching? So it was when Demi Moore was pretty young, like maybe she looks like in her early 20s,
Hmm.
and she's kissing a little boy. He's a little boy, looks like about 10, and she's kissing him. Like it seems like they're like at some restaurant, and then this lady starts singing "Somewhere Over the Rainbow" as that's happening.
Gosh, it's horrible. See, and you see these little orbs, right?
Yeah.
So going back to the future real quick. He's on top of the bed with his dad, and he's in like this yellow uniform with yellow, dishwashing gloves, and he looks like an alien to the dad because the dad was sleeping, and then he puts the ear things over him and then blasts the metal music. I don't know how many times. And he says, I am going to kill you, he says to the dad, or he says something, if you don't ask so and so to the dance. And I'm like, okay, so we have these, they're not, most of the time they're not beings. Most of the time they're, who, assets
Mhm.
that abduct us and program us that way as
Yeah.
kids. And that's why there's the nightmares. The other day, I was having a horrible nightmare. I told you about it. It was at my
Mhm.
grandma's house in Nogales, Mexico. And I don't like to look at the closet, not even in my dreams. Sometimes I will force myself to look at the closet because she would always say, Cierra el closet, mijita. I see people in there. Close the closet. And I'm like, ah. So she usually had like a big bed here, like a king size bed. And then she had her little twin bed there because I guess that was their matrimony bed. So when the kids were not around or whatever. But
Mhm.
when we kids showed up, we would sleep on the big bed, and my nana would sleep here in the little twin bed, and my tata would sleep in the kitchen on a sofa.
Mhm.
And so in this dream, there's no beds like those beds. It's all white tile, and there's like these pillows that are rectangle on two, like if there were two beds there. And then where I was sleeping, there was no bed, but I was in bed. Get it? And there was this
Mhm.
person. It was a really tall guy. I'm not kidding, like 10 feet tall, maybe. White, no hair, bald, blue eyes, holding a little child, a little kid. And there was all kinds of kids there. And it's like if my family had invited some albino family, like these white people there. I'm like, what the heck are these people doing here? I don't know them. And I was like a teenager, and then um or like actually saw myself very young, but like I am now, but just younger. And then I was in my black sleeping pajama thingy, and all of a sudden the colchones, the pillows, they both went they went down. At the same time that that happened, there was this energy that was trying to pull me down through the foundation of my grandma's house, and I was looking at my grandma's brown wooden closet.
Mhm.
Like, oh hell no. And I said in the dream, no, no, I yelled out, and I yelled out for my mom, and I could see her, but it was not her. And then I go, Ma, I was crawling on my knees, and then I finally somebody put their hand like that, and I got up and I said, Dame el alcohol, and that's when I woke up. So I was talking to Power Lady, and I said, I'm just let me hold on, let me just put some rubbing alcohol, because
Mhm.
that's how I have to wake up. I'm like, I'm okay, I'm back here, you know. And there's, as you know, there's a lot of stuff that's been happening, and they this is how they do it. They try and put fear in it in our
Mhm.
dreams. And then look at this orb here. Not
Mhm.
all orbs are the nice witch.
Mhm. She's wearing a quinceañera dress.
I'm not a witch at all, she says. So they program you to think you're a witch or something. She still has her black shoes on.
Mhm.
The witch of the north, she says.
She says she's not a witch, but she still calls herself a witch.
She said only bad witches are ugly. That is a lie.
I've seen witches these days; they're all hot.
With them plastic booties.
BBLs and lip fillers and shit like that. But I think it's all just for, to entice people into witchcraft and doing occult, dark occult shit. And, you put a beautiful woman in front, and man, but people just can't see the inside. They just see the outside, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna put this pretty shiny thing in front of you, and you're gonna be sucked in.
Hmm. The Munchkin land, they say. Look at all
Oh,
those
dude,
little munchkins. What the heck, dude? Are those supposed to be fairies?
I don't think so.
Are,
When I was
do they
watching that,
help abduct the children too?
probably, dude, because in that documentary when they were talking about her, Judy Garland, and they were saying that she was molested so much by those Munchkin guys, like those guys
Yeah,
that play the Munchkins or the whatever.
the old fat men with no hair that I can't stand so much.
Mhm.
It's getting windy over here. How's it get over there?
Yeah, it's really windy right now too, man. It's
I wonder what they're trying to usher in again, because it's the special date, 10/22/2022.
mhm.
What else did you want
Especially
to
this
talk
whole
about,
month.
Mika?
Hmm?
What else did you want to talk about?
I was gonna say, especially this whole month, it's been off for everyone. Like this poor girl at my job, this whole week, like her mom was in the hospital, and then she was supposed to get out, and then they said if she threw up, she couldn't leave, and she ends up throwing up. And then that's when all her shit got stolen from work, and she's just like, "What is it with this week?" And I'm just like, "Dude, it's something's up. Certain people are getting targeted, and she's
It's
just there minding her business." Yeah,
Halloween.
now that we're getting, and I know this month, like, there's a lot of like holy days for, like, all the occultist people, like, there's when it leads up to Halloween, so it's like it starts off slow and it just gets more and more ramped up to the climax, and then Halloween is like the the burst or the explosion where they want to let out all this dark energy, dark souls, or whatever. That's why they won't let people, like, when it gets close to Halloween, I think like 2 weeks or 3 weeks before, like, they won't adopt out any black cats, because people just use them either as a novelty or yeah, they use them for sacrificing. And so, a lot of hounds, they won't, I mean, if they want, they're like, they do more of a background or just go more in depth if you do want to get a black cat, because you just want to make sure it's like, do you really want a black cat to have a black cat because you want a black cat, or what's the reason? It's not a toy. You just can't adopt this cat and then once Halloween's over, you bring them back. Or yeah, people use these cats for nefarious reasons.
Yeah, you gotta watch the old Steven Spielberg movie that I can't stand anymore. Is I watched it one time and I just couldn't as a kid. It's called Pet Cemetery.
Mhm.
Now, I find it very interesting. August the 12th every year is something to do with the Aleister Crowley thing, where he was trying to summon the jinns, and then Nessie, Nessie is actually a AI system here through CERN, and also the Leviathan is also a system, the 666 Beast that is actually a system. So August the 12th, today's 10/22/2022. October 31 is 13 backward. November 4th, July, who celebrates the 4th of July, right? These are special dates that they have made in the calendar. It's 1 month that's missing from the regular calendar. They say the Mayan or Aztec or Mayan calendar. They did it on purpose for these rituals because people like Bealey or whatever his name is, Al Bealey, and people in these programs that are, for example, the Queen. How old was she when she died? Did she get to what date did she actually pass away? Because it was not the date where they say. So they're giving this, excuse me, opportunity. I am going to talk while I first. They're giving this opportunity to choose a date. How old do you want to be? Or they might not even ask them how old do you want to be when you want to go into another body or be age regressed. Through these Manhattan projects and these, the other one that I mentioned, the one in the Navy ship, appeared and disappeared.
Did you say the Philadelphia project?
Experiment where you can you can go invisible and things like that, and do cloaking technology and all that. So this is why a lot of people here are involved with the white hat psyops, the black hat psyops, because they were offered in their lifetime a chance to come back with all their memories. They didn't give me that. They thought I died. They thought I was gonna like never come back. People like us.
You're like, too bad, bitch, here I am. And it's crazy that you said November 4th is one of those days, because that was the day of the concert I was supposed to go. Remember I was telling you earlier? I really wanted to go, and something just kept telling me, was just telling me like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't go and just try to like, just, try to get your money back for this ticket. And now that you mention it, I'm like, yeah, now for sure I'm not going to go, because yeah, something can happen. I was on the 4th of November, and I was just like, something about that day just seemed kind of off. And now that you mention it, I'm like, oh, okay, now I see why. So yeah, I'm definitely not going to go now.
Yeah, and these vortices, and like I was there in Fresno, it's Yosemite. I would see all kinds of faces, and I would take picture, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a face right there. I would just look at the rock, I'm like, that's a face right there. Bunch of faces in the water. The forest is alive.
No, heck yeah, it is. Heck yeah, it is.
The desert is alive. Come on.
Yeah, especially the places that are still untouched by man. Like, it looks like where time just stood still. Like, it's ancient and sacred. Like,
There's a reason why it's ancient and sacred, and they don't want us to touch it because they do their
for sure.
summonings there on certain dates, and it has to have the planetary. This has to align with that star system. Is the Big Dipper really a Big Dipper, or is it, is it being used for mining?
Yep. And like how this summer we had that big fire in the mountains, and it's just like the story was just so dodgy. It's just like, what? Who, if you're a homeless person that always camps, so why would you do what this guy did? It's like, it just sounded like a complete psyop. There's something there that they were trying to weaken, because even the Navajo people here up here say that the Snow Bowl is a sacred mountain, and they say like, why do these white people want to live so close to the mountain? And it's just like, yeah. And then when I used to clean these Airbnb homes and I can see the mountain, and there's this clearing because there's all the trees, and I could see a clearing, and it looks like a woman sitting there like with her legs crossed and her arms like, kind of in that meditating. And I'm just like, now I see it. I'm seeing it. I see why they're trying to destroy. They destroyed that whole part of the mountain. Like, it's all beautiful here, and then right there, it's all just charred. I'm just like, these motherfuckers, dude. Like, they're trying to kill something that's up there. Maybe they couldn't get into a certain portal or Stargate, and so they're like, all right, we gotta just take out whatever's protecting it. And that was just my whole feeling. But the whole time I was watching the fire, I was just like, there's something up there they're trying to get to.
You notice also the BLM movement.
Yep.
They're trying to usher in something else on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the woman that started it, she's all living in a white community, gated community, and just making all this money, and it's not even going to the black community. And then I was watching that documentary that Candace Owens did,
Yeah.
and she went to her house.
Is she in on it? What's going on?
Yeah, she definitely is that lady that started BLM. She just wanted the money. She's just using the black community just to get all this money, and just get people angry. And then Soros is behind it too. He's just funding Antifa.
Did you watch that show with Carrie Cassidy, James Caswell, and Max Spears, where they talk about that they were told that they were gonna have all the black people go back to Africa, and then they were gonna nuke the place?
Yeah, but they're gonna give them money
I
to go
do not
back.
consent. No,
No, that's
no.
fucked up. That's fucked up, dude.
So they're doing something with the black and white community. They've always been doing shit with. I mean, look at when Cesar Chavez with the whole grape thing. He was trying to stop the pesticides because the kids were born with no arms or whatever. There's always the people that want to do a psyop to do something to usher in whatever is next in their agenda. Um,
Yeah.
I reject the baby Jabberwocky here in Arizona for our kids. I reject the
Yep. Same.
whole charade.
The
I
space diapers.
do not consent because that is what they're doing. They're genetically modifying the blood, your bloodline, the DNA, through your mRNA, and then they're making stem cells. And then so they're sending these thought forms more and more and more and more and more people are being attacked. Um, what they want, like we were talking earlier, is they want a virtual reality world, and then they want the world where everybody's shopping on Amazon from home.
Right. Stay home. Everything will just come to you. That's why they have Instacart. That's why they have DoorDash. That's why they have all this convenient shit.
And it all started with that guy that supposedly the officer killed, which he was actually one of his best friends. And then later on, they had a fallout because of some money and drug issue and fake money. And it's like, yeah, and you believe that? And that ushered in this. And before that, it was that basketball player from the Lakers,
Mm-hmm. And didn't that one, what was it, that actor, what was his name?
Kobe.
Jesse,
Mm-hmm.
not him. He's an actual actor. Jesse Smollett or whatever. Like he tried to say that he was being, what was it like? It was like a whole hate crime thing, but they ended up finding out it was a complete lie. He was just trying to incite some more hate. But I'm glad that they found out that he was just completely bullshitting the whole time.
Now, somebody warned me about this Eli guy in Washington, D.C. He was a shaman, supposedly. Well, he ends up being, and I got my source, I won't say who, but we were both talking, and yeah, it's verified that he's the clone or he is that guy that infiltrated my channel, my website and my t-shirts. Jake Ely, aka Jack Slater, and he also took over my Facebook super soldier thing, and he's not a super soldier. So what's going on? you know. And then a lot of people were upset with me because I didn't go with a certain producer last year. I went with a female producer, and now that person is in prison. You have to use your intuition.
Discernment. Intuition and discernment, your intuition, and if your discernment is telling you, hey, this person ain't right, listen to that. Because a lot of people just don't want to. It's like they feel it and but they're like, but I don't want to hurt their feeling. Or what if it's just me being skeptical, and then now you're stuck in a situation you wish you weren't in. And it's just like, just listen to that little voice, because it's warning you, it's protecting you. Especially women, man. Like,
They're free
we're
to be alone, without the hombre. You don't need an hombre.
yeah, like we're programmed that we have to be nice, and we have to be, like, when you're kids, and how you can feel like someone isn't good, but your parents go talk to them or go hug them, and now that's programming you to just let people own you or handle you or just do whatever they want to you. And it's like, you got to break that shit. It's like, you don't have to be friends with everybody. Listen to that voice, feel them out, and if they don't feel right, run the other way. Fuck that. It
And
doesn't
you
matter.
better go sleeping with everybody than anything that moves. That's also a project, and you don't gotta watch no popcorn. You know what I mean by that.
The whole Netflix and chill, and that's why everyone. And then that's how a lot of people were just like getting into really bad situations, because they're just like, oh, we're just gonna chill and watch Netflix, and it's just like, no, I will not Netflix and chill with anyone unless I do know them personally. We're just friends, like my friends, my actual friends, not just some dude. Like, yeah, we're just gonna watch a movie, and you're with people that you're comfortable with, not some guy just because that's what you're hearing on fucking Instagram and shit like that. And yeah, again, that's another programming. Like, oh, these girls are like, yeah, I want to like just chill with some guy and watch a movie. It's like they don't want to Netflix and chill. They just want to fuck you and then fuck you and chuck you.
I noticed that huge jump and change because I was married for 20, almost 20 years. And then when I had to do the whole dating thing and I went back to the gym after a few years after that, I had never seen uh, gay and lesbian so open in the gym. And I thought, wait, what's like, not that I don't see anything wrong with that myself, but I was like, wait, what happened? Like, there's a whole time jump that I was not around because I was at home or working
Yeah.
my graveyard shift. And and the whole dating thing was, oh, come to my house and I'll cook for you and we'll watch a movie on HBO or Netflix. I'm like, what happened to the whole courting thing? Hey,
Courting isn't even a thing
yeah,
anymore.
yeah, we have dinner and then you go home and I go home. Or hey, next weekend or the following month, let's go skiing or hiking or something.
Yeah.
No, luego. Oh, let's go to the bed. No, not even to the bed. You know what I mean? It's like they just want the quickie because
Mhm.
they are so hooked on pornography. They
Mhm.
think that females are just for that. And then females just think that the man is for money,
Mhm.
and vice versa. And it creates, it desensitizes the kids nowadays. You're trained to use people as
Yeah, that's just the thing now. Just like the whole casual sex is just like, oh, just the whole hookup culture. It's like, yeah, and like it just goes from hi, hello, straight to the bed instead of, yeah, like I said, the courting thing. It's just gross now, and I just can't even talk to anyone without them thinking like, oh,
sending
he,
pictures, your personal pictures, very personal pictures. Why would you want to send that online? Everybody in cyberspace is looking at your boobs. We don't want to look at your boobs or the other thing down there, the one. What?
not only that, but that the alphabet soup companies or whatever, you don't really think that they're keeping all that shit, that they're
Yeah.
your pictures, your videos, and it's just
Zoom
like,
is connected to Google, and then Skype is connected to, I think, Google as well, YouTube. Proton Mail, I have Proton Mail because that's encrypted, and that I think that comes from Russia. And
mhm.
then Power Lady was telling me about another email that is also encrypted. One of my friends that I thought were my friends from the agency had said, only Snapchat and Messenger are safe. I'm like, nah, dude, nothing's safe, dude. Don't feed me that line.
Yeah. And I feel like, yeah, fuck that. I don't have Snapchat. I don't have none of that shit. I don't need it. Like, what for? Just so a bunch of weirdos can be like, oh, send me pictures, send me videos. Oh, we're so beautiful. It's like, fuck you. You don't care about me. You just want to see my goodies. I'm like, fuck no. Fuck no, dude.
You ain't
But
gonna
no,
see
girls.
no goodies from the hoodie.
What I don't get is like, girls are meeting guys from other countries and they're like, oh, if I don't send him these pictures, he's gonna stop talking to me. Bitch, he's in fucking wherever else. He's in Spain or he's in Mexico. It's like, you really think you guys are gonna meet and you're desperately just trying to keep this guy on the hook? He's talking to like 50 other women from other places. Like, you're not the only one, bitch.
En español dice amor de lejos, amor de pendejos.
Yep.
Mhm. Pues sí, Celeste, do you have anything else before we go? And we can always do another one later, today or tomorrow, whenever you're off again.
Yeah, I think we're good for now. And if anything else comes up, we'll write down our ideas and we can just
Chola
congregate again.
Chismes. We gotta do another Chola
Yeah.
Chismes. I asked Rubber Starlet, but she hasn't gotten back to me. She's busy doing her haunted house Halloween.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So
Well, we could probably wait till after the month and then see when she's free again.
yeah. Now on the 20, okay, so on Tuesday, I'm gonna have Power Lady, Chad Cooper, and myself. We're gonna do we're gonna talk about the book of the Mech, this one again, the King one.
Mhm.
We're gonna talk about the giants in the Bible that were not in the Bible and some are in the Bible, and
Mhm.
what's the sign up there, and Jack and the Beanstalks and the magic beans. What are the magic beans? The magic beans are, real quick, just give you a preview. They were given to man by the giants so that they can travel interdimensionally. Does that sound like over the rainbow?
Right.
Then we're gonna talk about the giants, and then on the 27th, I'm gonna have Fire Horse again. We're gonna talk about vampires and werewolves. And then the second Saturday of November, I'm going to have John Whitberg again. And we'll see what else we do.
Do you still talk to Tom Outhouse?
Yeah, I
Are
do.
you?
I text him once in a while.
Mhm.
He hasn't said that he wants to be on, but he knows that he can come on anytime.
Mhm.
So hopefully
Okay,
we'll hear
cool.
from him again.
Cool.
There's a few people that have disappeared. Tom and I were talking about this certain person, and now we don't know what's up.
Oh, damn, that's
I'll tell you in private.
okay.
Yeah, this person was hounding me and hounding me. Never paid for a reading, which is fine. I guess he didn't have the money. Okay, fine. But every day asking me questions on my video, like 5 or 6 videos, calling me all kinds of times, and then
Just gone.
she gone.
Down. Bitch down. Probably got abducted or something.
Gotta put him in the box.
Right, stay in there.
Yep. Okay, Mama, we'll tell everybody where they can reach you, and then I'll put all the info down after we get this video edited.
Yes. Yes.
Uh-huh.
So my email is just celestechaparro@gmail.com, as you can see right there, all lowercase. Or on Instagram, Celeste Plantagenet hyphen York. No, I don't think there's a hyphen. Just Plantagenet York.
It doesn't have a hyphen. No, it's go ahead, say it again.
Celeste Plantagenet, Plantagenet, and then York, as in the city of York out
Sounds
in
like Plant Agent York.
Egypt, York.
Are you an agent, Celeb?
I sure am.
You heard her. Next on Code Break
Right.
Real Talk, we're gonna know.
Right now, I'm gonna be all in black with sunglasses on.
With the black. No, just kidding.
Right, black.
Thank you, Mama, for your idea
No.
being on. And then I'm Veronica Bartolini, Code Breaker Real Talk. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Truth Social, and other areas. I do readings, hex removals, etc., etc., etc. I will write everything down. Love you guys. Thank you, Celeste. Love you, Mama.
Love you too.